General Hospital will reveal Liz's shock when she realizes that the deaths of Dex and Sam are not just isolated incidents. She uncovers a suspicious detail involving an elderly woman named Sylvie Mullen, who passed away in August under similar circumstances. All three cases share a troubling common denominator: they all died from a digitalis overdose, a drug that, if misused, can trigger a deadly heart attack. This discovery forces Liz to confront the strange connection between the victims. Liz realizes that the case goes beyond Cyrus, the suspect they believe is behind the deaths of Dex and Sam. If he is the one who killed them, could he also be responsible for Sylvie Mullen's death? What would make an elderly woman like her a target? As Liz cross-references the data, she discovers that the method of the crimes bears familiar signs, suggesting that there may be two murderers acting together. The subtle traces, intentional use of digitalis, and striking similarities between the cases convince Liz that Cyrus is not acting alone but has an accomplice. This suspicion is further solidified and Liz continues to investigate Sylvie's case. She uncovers a strange genetic link between Sylvie and Dex. This revelation presents a surprising possibility: could Sylvie be Dex's biological mother? If so, what made her fall into the crosshairs and meet the same fate as her son? This connection seems too significant to be a coincidence, suggesting a carefully orchestrated conspiracy. To uncover the mystery, Liz shares her findings with Lucky. He is stunned when she mentions the previously deceased woman and immediately agrees that this cannot be the work of Cyrus alone. He realizes that there may be two killers operating within the hospital, working closely together to carry out these crimes. This raises a crucial question: if it is not just Cyrus, then who is his accomplice? And what is the true motive behind these murders? In order to confirm the connection between Sylvie and Dex, they decide to exhume Sylvie's body for further evidence. If the results show that Sylvie is indeed Dex's mother, it will completely change the direction of the investigation. But at the same time, it raises new questions: why were both mother and son killed? And what made them targets in such a complex and terrifying conspiracy? Deep in thought, Liz immediately goes to Lucky to share what she has just discovered. The similarities between Sylvie Mullen's death and those of Dex and Sam make it impossible for her to ignore. Sylvie's autopsy confirms that she, too, died from a digitalis overdose, using the same method and resulting in the same consequences as the two previous victims. Liz knows this cannot be a coincidence, it's part of a carefully planned series of events. Lucky listens and begins to analyze the situation systematically. With his years of investigative experience, he quickly realizes that things may be more complicated than they initially assumed. If Cyrus is truly responsible for killing Dex and Sam, then what was his motive for killing Sylvie? An elderly woman, with no apparent connection to the other two victims, why was she targeted? Sylvie's involvement in the series of murders seems to defy any motive they had previously considered for Cyrus. Sylvie's presence in the case not only raises doubts about Cyrus's role but also opens up the possibility of a second killer. Liz and Lucky understand that the use of digitalis to murder requires in-depth medical knowledge, and the sophisticated method of execution suggests that there may be coordination between two perpetrators. If there is indeed an accomplice, this would mean that the hospital is facing not just one dangerous individual, but a premeditated conspiracy. These new findings only deepen Liz's concerns about the connection between the victims. The overlap in the method of murder indicates some sort of close relationship between them that they have yet to pinpoint. Liz realizes that Sylvie was not a random victim. She must have had a hidden connection to either Dex or Sam, and that connection made her a target. She starts to question Sylvie's past. Did she ever know or have a family link to anyone involved at the hospital? Lucky analyzes the information carefully and suggests a new direction. It becomes urgent to re-examine Sylvie's records. The matching patterns across all three cases indicate the presence of a more complex network. If Cyrus isn't acting alone, then who is his accomplice? Liz knows they need to expand their investigation, not just focusing on Cyrus's motive but also looking into anyone else who might be connected to the hospital. Sylvie's involvement in the series of murders is like a strange and difficult to understand puzzle piece. Liz is aware that in order to uncover the truth, they need to decipher the link between Sylvie, Dex, and Sam. Although no answers are immediately apparent, she knows that digging into Sylvie's past could provide crucial clues. But this also means they are delving deeper into a dangerous conspiracy, where every answer could lead to even more terrifying truths than they had imagined. As the investigation deepens, Liz and Lucky recognize a familiar pattern in the way the murders were committed. The Digitalis doses were administered with almost perfect accuracy, just enough to cause death without leaving immediate obvious signs. The killer is clearly not a spontaneous murderer, but someone with a deep understanding of medicine, capable of controlling and calculating the drug's dosage to make the deaths appear natural. This shows the sophistication of the crime, while also raising suspicions that there could be more than one person involved in this conspiracy. However, what troubles Liz the most is not just the method of murder. Upon reviewing the medical records, she notices something odd about the connection between Sylvie and Dex. The blood test results reveal an uncanny genetic similarity. Liz tries to remain calm while confronting this information, but she cannot stop thinking about the possibility that this genetic connection is not coincidental. The question begins to form in her mind: could Sylvie be Dex's mother? This discovery forces Liz to reconsider the entire picture of the victims. Sylvie, an elderly woman with a simple medical history and no signs of having been in danger or threatened, is now a significant part of the murder series. If she is indeed Dex's biological mother, then the connection between the two could have been the reason for their deaths. But why? If Sylvie is Dex's mother, why was she killed? And did the killer discover this relationship before it could be officially confirmed? Liz knows that if her assumptions are correct, this case is not just a simple chain of murders but involves more complex motives, possibly personal or even rooted in revenge. The connection between Sylvie and Dex has become a key to unraveling the entire truth. But to confirm this hypothesis, Liz and Lucky must face a difficult decision. They need to exhume Sylvie's body to gather more genetic evidence. Meanwhile, the questions continue to gnaw at Liz's mind. Did the killer know about the relationship between Sylvie and Dex beforehand? Or was it the discovery of this truth that made both of them targets? Liz senses a hidden network surrounding them, where every answer leads to more questions. But she knows that finding the truth, no matter how painful, is necessary to prevent anyone else from becoming a victim. Lucky recognizes that the link between Sylvie and Dex must be clarified without delay. He decides to speed up the investigation by suggesting the exhumation of Sylvie's body. This is not an easy decision, as exhuming a body is controversial and could further upset the victim's family. However, in this context, it is the only way to verify the truth about the genetic connection between Sylvie and Dex. If Liz's hypothesis is correct, this could shed light on the real motive behind the strange deaths. Lucky prepares the exhumation request and begins the necessary legal procedures. Meanwhile, Liz does not let time pass idly. She and Lucky continue to focus on checking for other clues within the hospital, where all three victims had been treated or had connections to the medical environment. This review quickly leads to an important discovery. The sophisticated and consistent nature of the murders suggests that Cyrus could not be acting alone. Liz and Lucky hypothesized the existence of an accomplice. This person may have been the one assisting or even carrying out most of the actions. Notably, the murders require a deep understanding of medicine, from using the correct Digitalis dosage to ensuring the traces left behind appear as medical accidents. This coordination cannot simply be the work of one individual, there must be a second person working in the shadows. They carefully examine the hospital staff roster, focusing on individuals with access to Digitalis and knowledge of pharmacology. Small clues, such as lost drug samples, abnormalities in medical records, or even suspicious behaviors internally, are included in their investigation. Liz shudders at the thought that the accomplice could be someone she once worked with, a person who seemed trustworthy but actually harbors dark intentions. While waiting for the exhumation results, Liz and Lucky continue to question the relationship between Sylvie, Dex, and Cyrus. If Sylvie is truly Dex's mother, could it be that Cyrus or his accomplice discovered this connection and decided to eliminate both to cover up something? Or is there a secret from Sylvie's past that she carried with her until her death, a secret now threatening those behind these murders? Lucky continues to analyze all the possibilities. If an accomplice exists, what role might they play? Are they the ones providing the digitalis, the one who carried out the final act, or the mastermind behind the entire plan? Liz also realizes that identifying the accomplice is not only about finding the killer but also about stopping them from causing further casualties. The wait for the exhumation results becomes a period of anxiety and tension, but also an opportunity for Liz and Lucky to expand their investigation and strengthen the initial evidence. They understand that with each passing hour, the risk of the murderer striking again grows, and uncovering the truth becomes more urgent than ever. The questions continue to haunt their minds: who is Cyrus's accomplice? Why was Sylvie targeted? And if she truly is Dex's mother, what led to her death in such a devious conspiracy? Liz knows that she is facing a secret, complicated, and dangerous web, but she is determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost.